I'd like to welcome you to our course, Introduction to Economic Theory. Economics studies how we organize our material life, and we look at both how we produce things, how we distribute things, and what the outcomes are for different sectors of the population. This is an exciting set of material to think about because it gets to the basics of what it means to be human, at least in a material dimension. I don't claim that economics can explain everything, but it can explain a lot of things about how we survive and how we interact with each other. Now, I first got interested in this discipline as a historian. As an undergraduate from the University of Michigan, I was interested in South Asian history. I think because I was attracted to Gandhi and the civil disobedience movement of India. I'm not exactly sure why I got interested in India. Probably it was just a good professor who got me interested. In any event, I went to India for a year, a long time ago, in 1969-70. This was long before there was an internet, there wasn't even television, and there was actually no telephone service. So I was pretty isolated from the rest of the world, which for a 20-year-old was great. I learned a lot while I was in India, and I got very interested in economic issues because I was confronted with poverty that I had never seen before or indeed since. And I got to thought about what causes this poverty. And I was lucky enough to have a very good Indian professor who actually taught about agriculture and poverty in agricultural systems. And so that led me into economics as a discipline. I went on to England and studied economics at Cambridge University for 2 years and got a master's degree there. And then I went on to get my doctorate at the University of California at Berkeley. My interest in economics has always been political economic. That is, I'm interested in how economic systems affect politics and how politics affects economic systems. I've had 3 major research projects in my career, I guess. The first was a more abstract one, focusing on theories that try to explain economic imperialism. Why did rich countries try to colonize poorer countries? And how does this political asymmetry and economic asymmetry persist today? What's the economic or political rationale for such activities? So I wrote a book on this subject in the 1980s. I then turned to a more concrete issue about the formation of U.S. economic policy and power in the post-World War II period. I've always had an interest in Germany as well as in India, and so I decided to study the post-war occupation of Germany. And I wrote a book on the impact of the U.S. Army on the evolution of Germany and the impact of Germany on the evolution of the U.S. Army in a book entitled Remaking the Conquering Heroes. This is a book that was published in the early 2000s. I then, through complex reasons that I won't explain here, got captured by the Arab world and ended up teaching in Cairo, Egypt, and then later in the United Arab Emirates. And this led me, with a co-author, to publish a book on the higher education systems of the Arabian Peninsula and the formation of new educational institutions as the economies became increasingly globalized. I will bring some of these interests into this class, but really this class is more abstract than that. We're going to look at basic economic concepts of supply and demand, of microeconomics, how individuals behave, and macroeconomics, how the whole economy operates. And we'll be linking this to growing trends of globalization and inequality. So this is the format of the course. I hope you enjoy it, and I think you'll find it stimulating. And my goal is that you use the tools that you learn in this class to sharpen your own analysis as political scientists in international relations.